Welcome back, everyone, to another CSR powered by Highline Racing Network broadcast of the All-American Cup Series. This evening, Tommy, they are from Watkins, Glen, upstate New York. I absolutely love this track. I lived upstate New York for a little while there, Tommy. One of my favorite tracks and one of my favorite cars. These things are going to be a handful. I know you're not too terribly used to Watkins Glen there, Tommy, but what are your expectations for tonight?
Expectations are I'm going to learn something from these guys. I seen how they drove at Indy last week. These guys know what they're doing. I'm a super speedway, novice kind of racer, if you will. These guys know what they're doing. I'm gonna pick up on what they're doing. And Watkins Glen, I'm gonna apply it here later after this race.
Tommy, this was always one of my favorite tracks, dating all the way back to NASCAR Thunder 2004 when I got when I got iRacing in 2020. This was actually the first track I went out and bought. I love this track. I know you've seen us go out there on the GT3s around this track before. A ton of fun. But tonight in the 04 Cup Series, excuse me, I should say the 03 Monte Carlo, a ton of horsepower, lack of grip. They also only have a 50% fuel load on board, so these cars are even lighter than they normally are. This is going to be absolutely wild here this evening. Well, I hadn't turned a lap in this car just yet until tonight. I went out there, got into, I'll stir the pot, the greatest road course racer's car of all time. Jeff Gordon's 24, diving off into turn one. You got to be careful, Tommy, over these rumble strips, because that rear end of this car gets very loose. You want to keep it even tighter than I was here. I'm just trying to kind of do a slow lap to show everyone, but even at that, there was a ton of horsepower in these cars where the rear end wanted to step out. You're absolutely flying into the heavy braking area. You might see some of these guys jump these curbs here tonight, Tommy. You see the car kind of getting up on its side there. And then this long, sweeping right-hand turn. The carousel, if you will, there. It gets real sharp at the end. You got to be, again, get up here off the track just a little bit. When you cross back over those rumble strips, man, with the horsepower, the tires want to spin and really upset the car. Again, down up to fourth, down to second here, and coming over the rumble strips. Again, you want to get right on the brakes, but the car's upset going over the rumble strips, Tommy. So, this is going to be technical. What you didn't see is that since I get to edit, you didn't see me almost wreck there off the final corner. I hid that pretty well, but that thing had stepped out there, Tommy. And, like you said, these guys really put on one hell of a show for Indy. It's going to be a ton of fun here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. And you sound like you're somewhat of an expert on Watkins Glen. I was impressed there, Craig. I really was.
It's one of my favorite tracks out there. You see the pace car? They're doing like a heat here before they get started here this evening. We'll get a look at your qualifying results here in just a moment. But we got some more things that we want to go through here, including your updated point standings after Indianapolis, the big win, the first win of the year for the 9 machine. He's going to go up a couple spots in the point standings here after Indy. We're about almost halfway through the season. Our only road course on the schedule here as we get a look at the schedule, Tommy. So a lot of guys showing strength on the oval so far, but is tonight the night where somebody shows they had a little bit of a specialty in their back pocket?
Yeah, more than likely. You know how it is in these leagues. You got a few guys that are, they're out here running, these road courses on a nightly basis, and then you got these other guys that they run them when they gotta run them. So we're gonna see at qualification just exactly who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we get this thing all fired off, there was a couple fans that Highline Racing Network got an interview with here. While the stands were getting full, we'll check in on that.
OMG, somebody get a picture of me talking to Highline Racing Network. Okay, I'm ready. I am Stacy, and I am a Mike Husby fan, and not just like a normal fan. I am a diehard. My whole dang family is. The 6 is sitting in 7th place, and I bet we move up to top 5 after today. Let's go, Maplemen! Hell yeah, I'm pumped now. Thanks for letting me talk on the show. See ya.
Hey, I'm Marsha Thompson, and I traveled all the way from Western Alaska to see my favorite driver, Craig Martin, in that 22-piston broke car. Sure, it's been a slow season so far, but that's going to change today. My advice to Craig Martin would be to just remember that you're Craig freaking Martin and everyone sucks compared to you, baby. Now go get that checkered flag, Craig.
Well, got some fans out there. Tommy from the Highline Racing Network that got out there. When did you catch up with these guys? No, I'm just kidding. When did you get in there and create all these characters on this awesome Highline Racing Network?
You mean I went down to Watkins, Glen, earlier and ran into these two lovely ladies, and we had a talk. And at the end of the day, they gave who their drivers are. You got to respect that. And hey, I'm going to root for who they're rooting for. What can I say?
Well, there you have it. All right, well, we got some more features coming up from the Highline Racing Network as this one goes on here tonight. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and get a look at the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing up, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And we are back. They're in the 5-minute warm-up as you get a look around the virtual upstate New York scenic shots there. Tommy, one of the things we kind of touched on there on that warm-up lap is that it's very much like Sonoma in the fact that there is a lot of elevation change from turn 1 all the way up through the S's. I mean, the whole front straightaway is a downhill after you get to start-finish line, and it really dives into turn 1, almost as a Dover-esque kind of corner where you drop into the corner and then come up out of that sharp first right-hander. You climb the hill of the S's that you're seeing right here. You see it right there. I mean, just a lot of elevation change with the horsepower in these cars. You're going to have some crew chiefs getting a little animated out there, I think, and telling the guys, hey, don't go too too wide through there. You're burning the right rear off that thing. Well, let's go ahead and check in with some of those crew chiefs. What do you say there, Tommy?
Hear what these guys got to say.
Look, we told y'all, at the beginning of the season, we meant business, and we are sitting on 333 points as a team, so we are definitely living up to our word. And for this week at the Glen, Justin and the entire team is mentally prepared. Justin has been putting up top 5 times all week, so we fully expect to contend for a podium. We are going to focus on fuel. I think we need to save as much as possible to avoid those splash and dash stops. We need to keep the car in good shape, so we only plan to attack on the straights. Oh yeah, one more thing. If Taylor in the 99 car doors us this week, Justin may just put him in the grass. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Keep laughing.
Steven is doing a really good job this year. We were happy with his top 10 at Indy last week, but that's in the past now. We are focused on our key strategy this week of managing our tire and brake heat, but staying calm, being smooth, and consistent will keep us up front if we can land a good qual lap. We have had to make several adjustments to the car, but I think we have it where Steven likes it now. Thanks, guys. Hope to see y'all in victory lane later.
Alrighty, Tommy. Well, first we were out there with the fans. Now we're in there with the crew chiefs. How much fun are you having with the Highline Racing Network and all your generated, personal interviews, I should say, right, Tommy, out there, and everything that you have going on the Highline YouTube page?
Well, at the end of the day, we're out here broadcasting All-American Cup. I am Highline, and Highline does what Highline does. So I figure, hey, I'm going to throw something together for these guys, let them take a look, see if they like it. If the response, is positive from the guys at the All-American Cup, every time we do one of their races, I'll make sure to have all kind of cool stuff. We got some cool stuff coming out here soon with the next MOTD race. So take a look, man. You guys might see something you like. You might love the CSR broadcast and what me and Craig bring, and because we love to network, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, and if you're not shy, Tommy has been known to go find your Facebook or you submit the picture, I should say, and get your face or your car in one of those videos as well. So if you guys check out some of his content on his page, you'll see all kinds of things. You might even find my face on a couple of the guys. Well, the warm-up, as you see some cars going around the racetrack. We also got some new camera packages here for this one. Tommy, I'm pretty excited to get those fired up for you. Some different looks from inside these cars. Reminiscent of the old NASCAR 2003-ish era. Some of the cameras they had inside the car. So pretty pumped to get those out. Again, I'm excited to get this one started. Tommy, I jumped in here early again just because I like this racetrack so much, and I got out there in practice, and man, there were some guys absolutely flying out there, and then there was some guys struggling, kind of what you normally see when you come to road course racing. I don't know if some of the guys were just pushing it, just trying to find a little bit extra, or they just sailed it off. As you see another guy that just went down at the gravel trap down there. So, Tommy, I don't know if we're going to see as much or as many P's and Q's. Oh, my Lord, right there. Well, there's a good shot. I think he intentionally just held the throttle up there and bounced that thing all the way off the outside wall.
He probably did.
Well, yeah, like I said, really excited to get this one going here tonight. If you guys are in the comment section, I know over the last few races we've been playing with some audio, trying to make sure the cars aren't drowning us out, trying to make sure that my audio isn't absolutely booming in your ears, because you guys already struggled by having to listen to me for at least an hour and a half. At least you have Tommy in here now to help out. But yeah, if you guys notice anything, please throw it down in the comment section if the cars are screaming in your ears, or if any of the audio is off in there. Also, make sure if you are on YouTube, you go to that little pinwheel down there in the bottom right. It might auto put you in 1080. If you guys take a look, click that. We are up in 2K, so throw that up into 1440p, and you will get some ultra high definition playback on the CSR broadcast channel here, as well as thank you guys for tuning in. We see Patty, Christine, and Justin in there in the chat, as well as Tommy in the chat. So you guys feel free, blow up the comment section, talk a little smack, cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know who you think is going to win here this evening. Well, I don't want to give it away because I already saw some of the practice times. I saw some of the guys flying around out there, Tommy. So I have an idea who might find themselves up front in this one. But with these cars and this track, the track temp out there was scorching in practice, Tommy. Made for some slick handling race cars out there. And then the 50% fuel load as well definitely made these cars dance around a little bit. Well, we have just a couple minutes to go before this thing gets started off here this evening. Tommy, any final thoughts or guesses as to what we might see from start to finish in this one?
Well, I think it could go several ways, but we could have a wreck first turn, and that happens.
Yeah, it does. Often. Yes,
but if these guys are a little bit reserved and want to let this race go, I think we're going to end up with numerous small packs across the track, separating the elite drivers from the excellent, so forth and so on. That's kind of what I think we're going to see.
I have to agree with you. Well, they're getting down there on the grid, so let's go ahead and get ready to fire these things up, Tommy.
Got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
I'm over here. I got us muted. We're going to exit the pre-race show and get you guys your starting lineup here for this evening. Starting from the back, you see just some of the time spread. Actually not too bad all the way in the back of the pack, minus a couple there. But, I mean, this could really just be some of the guys getting loose off a corner and so on and so forth. You see last week's winner, Casey Carrington, in the 9 machine, rolling off P11, Nick Gowan, Kenneth Robnett, Connor, Jacob, Lilith, Jared, Justin Thompson, Curtis White, Dayton Taylor, and Mark Whitley. Putting that thing on pole with a 111.8, Tommy. That is absolutely flying around this racetrack.
Yes, it is. I don't even think you could beat that time, Greg.
Oh, there's no way. I went in with a couple laps I ran by myself earlier. I was out there lucky to get to I think a 112, 113, something like that. So, yeah, that is flying. And I was high 112s at my best in these cars. So, that was, I may have cut the course a little bit, but don't tell anybody. Here they go, running down the back straightaway, heading into the bus stop, inner loop, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite part of this racetrack. You're doing almost 180 by time you get into that inner loop, hard on the brakes, and then you're not going as slow as you think. The cars have a ton of lateral grip. You gotta be very careful with them though as you go through there. You got a hard right, a left, a right, and then you're in the carousel. This track is so much fun, and I am so excited for this one as they are rolling down the short chute right here. Tommy, getting ready for the final 2 corners, your left-hander, your right-hander, and back down the straightaway. The interesting part in this one is, Tommy, too, half this field will be right on this little straightaway between turns 6 and 7 when they go to take the green flag, because the start zone is, not very far beyond this point. You see right there the yellow line. That is the entrance to pit road, so it can get hairy here, but we are ready to go. The green flag is out. 45 laps for the All-American Cup Series at the Glen. Oh, we already got some action in the back. In the back of the pack, there's a couple around already trying to get these 3 guys in the inside wall back there already having issues. Tommy will have to get that. Oh, I saw that right on the start of this one. Looks like, oh man, it's Craig Martin and James Lowe out there already tore up here. Let's get back up front as you got Mark Whitley here getting ready to throw it into the bus stop. You watch it here, Tommy. It's just the suspension, the left, the right. These guys absolutely flying through here as Mark is already kind of extending his lead. Well, while they head into the short chute, here, let's go ahead and bring up the full standings so you guys can keep an eye on your favorite drivers in this one. We'll definitely try to get a look back at that incident here at the beginning of this one. Don't want to take our eyes off the leaders just yet. We want to see these guys complete lap number 1 here this evening, and Mark Whitley is in fact going to lead them back to green. It starts on the pole, leads the first lap. So now let's get a look a little further back here, Tommy, because oh boy, it's busy back here.
Yes, it is. And they're a lot tighter at this point than I thought they would be, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You see the 45 sliding that right front into turn 1. A very difficult corner, Tommy. You're carrying all kinds of speed. You're going downhill. And one of the things we haven't even talked about yet is the dreaded wheel hop. Heading into these corners, when you are hard on the brakes. Oh, the O2's going to go around hard in the inside wall. You see him there. I believe that's Zachary Metch there. Going to try to get hit on board. Yeah, the Pit Stop TV Camaro in the inside wall hard there. We're back to the low noses in these cars. As soon as you get up under the rear bumper of somebody, they're going to go around. So let's just call it here, Tommy. Lap 6. We'll go ahead and try to go back through some of the incidents here just to get these guys maybe spread out just a little bit here. But right now, the racing still fantastic. So we want to keep our eyes forward here as you get a look at Cody Anderson in the 53 in that Pat's Blue Ribbon Chevrolet here. This is one of the interesting parts. This used to be grass. iRacing updated to be just like the actual course out there. And these guys able to use a little bit of that room out there without kind of getting an off track. They also just recently on this track readjusted where you get your off tracks here at Watkins Glen. So that was much needed for a guy who liked to run this track. When it came to official weeks, if you got side by side with somebody just trying to give it a little room, went over the rumble strips, all of a sudden you get an off track 1X and you're like, oh, come on, your safety rating could plummet if you're in the middle of a good battle here at the Glen. But tonight, not a problem for these guys. Don't think they have to worry about getting X's really, unless there's admins watching the X's out there and going to hand out penalties. But Tommy, they don't have to worry about safety rating tonight.
Oh, definitely not. These guys need to worry about points and, position on the track. That's really all they got to care about. But just to rehash on that wreck that we saw back there with the Zach Murtis, he definitely took a hit in the back and sent him around, but he's back on track and he's running hard.
Awesome. Well, glad to see he's going. This is one of the cameras that are new to us here this evening. It's more of the visor camera. You hear just how loud this thing is. Ripping max RPM. You see the driver shaking around, how close they get, how much wheel they're just putting in this, and the throttle control it takes to get around this racetrack, Tommy.
It's amazing. I'm impressed. Just seeing this guy here right now, just watching like how he's driving the cars. He knows this track. And I think that's the biggest thing. Is you got to know the track like the back of your hand. I think once you get that down, I think you can start turning a competitive lap with the majority of your peers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You see him get a little loose. Sorry, I was stuffing my face while you were talking. Well, we're on lap 5. I also got a notification for an Austin Bloom wreck back there as well. So we'll try to get you caught up here momentarily on all the action as you see a close race there between the 01 and 3 getting through that corner. The 01 car of Lillis Peters here absolutely moving up through the S's. You see him closing the gap on the 3, heading in here to the bus stop. And this is another exclusive camera to Watkins Glen. I'll give you a shot of right here. Oh, that wasn't it. What in the world is that? This one right here. Boom. Right over your camera. I love that shot of these guys going around this racetrack here as Mark Whitley continues to lead this one. He opened it up kind of early, but right now, Dayton Taylor in that 99, a guy we had eyes on last weekend, started moving forward in that race after a rough qualifying effort for him. Now, looking like their lap times might be evening out. And like I said, the hot temperature, high horsepowers in these cars, tire wear is going to be a problem.
You definitely know tire wear is going to be a problem, especially with all the brake you're having to use. You're just heating it all up. These guys, that's what some of the guys' strategy is to try to maintain tires, and we'll see how beneficial that ends up working out for them at the end of the day.
So Curtis White, last week's P2 finisher, dominated that one, Tommy, backing it up here with a strong early performance. Well, while we have a moment here, well, we don't have to need this guy out right now, so we're going to go ahead and let's just hide that. But let's go ahead and take a look back at some of the action that happened early in this one. This is the 45. He already has damage on this 45 machine as he's coming through the S's. He's going to get it up there on the curb. Tommy stood on the throttle for a little while. Oh, right there. He's going to go ahead and take a shot. But I was going to say, a good job keeping that thing out of the fence, even worse than it already was for the driver of the 45, because you're carrying a lot of speed up through the S's, and that is a dangerous part of the racetrack. This is the initial start of the race here. You're going to see here with Craig Martin looking like a big checkup. Oh, there, the 45 did not see the checkup coming, and yeah, I think that's all you can say to that.
Yeah, that was.
He started to get on the brakes. The 7 was on the brakes as well, trying to not run into the back of the 22. I think the 45 was going to try to shoot the gap, but under the brakes that the 07 was trying to get into. And the 07 made that aggressive move. And, yeah, well, that tells the story right there. And then who else did we have going around at some point out here? Oh, this is the same incident. Just trying to get caught back up. I think Zachary here in the 02. Yeah, this is the incident we saw a little earlier. Let's put this quarter speed. Oh, maybe. Okay, I was going to say, could that have been what was the issue? Oh, yeah, gets absolutely jacked up. Couldn't tell who that was right there, but going to take a big shot to the inside wall here on what I guess they would consider the back straightaway, if you will. Just going to try to... So he disappears right here from even our angle. Well, yeah, so he's invisible. Then he's... Okay, he touches the grass. So, again, just how much horsepower the rear tires spin. Believe that is going to be... It's the Mobil 1 car. I think that was the 60. Runs into the back of him. So, yeah, that is what happens there. Not sure if maybe that is the internet issues, Tommy, what led to the 60 just kind of getting a run, maybe off a little bit of a draft off the car in front of him. No, okay, I was going to say, I'm thinking it's the 01, but yeah, he's in a Celsius car. Similar painted cars but not quite. As you see the 3 there getting a little out of shape. We'll get a look back here at Daniel Giroux in the 92 Big Lots machine heading into this one. And, well, Tommy, we know what it's going to happen. We're not going to give it away just yet, but we hold some power in our hands tonight, Tommy.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I'm not going to say
that. It's a little too early, but just know we got a little bit of power in our hands. As Giroux also seemed to be losing internet. I'm also getting another notification for another wreck out here. Looks like John in the 12 may have had issues here. Get a look on board. Well. Up there it is.
Just gassed it too much.
Yep, got down on that curb. The rear end was not happy. Stood on the throttle, and around she goes. So the curb got to be the cause for that one. We got also Dominic here in the 47. Looking like we're getting a notification that he may have gone around heading into turn 1. Could it be the same thing? Oh, he just way too hot. Locks him up, noses it. Not too bad, you know. Could have been worse. It just goes to show just how difficult this racetrack is. These guys last week absolutely were on point. No issues whatsoever, so it really seemed. We'll get a listen here into the corner, Tommy. It just goes to show how difficult it can be at these speeds to get into turn 1.
Absolutely. And hey, it's like we said, we're going to be able to determine who the guys that really know this track like the back of their hand and have practiced and run it on a regular basis. You can see it right now across the track. I mean, the 77's already coming up on the 22. He's out on the short street right now. So we're going to have, we're going to start seeing some cars getting lapped here real quick like.
Yeah, especially, and then it begs the question, I didn't even look. 50% fuel load on board. Usually this is a 90-lap race for the Cup Series. So they cut that in half. They cut the fuel in half, and usually this is a 2 or 3 stop race in the Cup Series. So could we also maybe just be halfway through a fuel load? Is the handling in these cars changing? We're getting a lot of notifications back here. We may have a big stack up with Mike Hugsby back here. Oh, this is out of the carousel. This is one of the most dangerous spots. We saw the big wreck with Jeff Gordon and company a few years ago. Yep, just on the rumble strips. Oh, no. Yep, he is going to catch that tire barrier there. Collect. Can't tell who that is just up in front of him. Try to get another look there. Oh, it's the 66 involved as well in this one. So a lot of cars getting tore up early in this one. Thomas Stokes there as well tore up in that in the Mike and Ike car. Getting another notification now that Dominic Russo may have gone around as well. We're getting a lot of guys on and off pit road here. So the 47, is he continuing to have issues here? He's going to try to let the leaders go by right here. And then, yeah, I don't think the brakes are working the way he'd like to. I did notice on that first incident he had going into turn 1, the rotors were glowing on that car already as he was heading into 1. I can't quite get a good look at them there, but definitely some kind of issues, and he just went ahead and pulled it to pit road, Tommy. So maybe some frustration already coming into play there for Dominic Russo. But now, getting a look back up front here, Trevor. Tommy, this battle for the lead is getting closer and closer and closer.
It is. We got a good old battle going down right here. This is going to be nice.
So last time by, Dayton Taylor with just a slightly, and I mean slightly, if we're talking 9/100ths, not even quite 9/100ths of a second, but this lap seemed to be closing quickly, and you see just how much wheel these guys, I mean, his hands are barely straight. He's on the straightaway. He's got to touch the grass there a little bit. Even under even under the full throttle there, that car's just shaking and dancing. His hands are full. These guys are working. I know I have a pretty cool shot somewhere in here of these guys. I'm going to try to go ahead and find it for you, but let's get a look back on board here. So that lap around, yeah, he closed big time. So the 77, maybe the handling going away, Tommy?
It's possible. The tire wear, like that tire wear is going to really play a factor. And but I mean, as quickly as, or as good as he's driving, I should say, he's probably going to figure that out real quick.
You get to see the brake rotors glowing in that 99 car as he's trying to run down the leaders. Oh, 77, to pit road.
Oh, I was going to ask, Craig, how much brake bias adjustment do you think guys are doing on the fly?
Oh, I'm sure as these runs go on, especially for the leaders here, as he's on pit road, what I would think is a little early, but nonetheless, maybe the handling going away on the 77 car. I got to imagine they are probably playing with that brake bias every 2 to 3 laps easily in these cars. While the leader is on pit road, I do want to go back here, look with Dayton real quick, see when he comes on pit road, but I also got a notification that Ken Robnut and Jeremy may have gone around as well, getting crash notifications for them, so we'll check those guys out as well. But let's just see here. When the 99 comes to pit road, because now you saw their last laps around, which were significantly slower than the qualifying efforts. Well, about a half a second, so really not terrible there. If you're Dayton, I know we had the 77 was somewhere in the 113, so almost 2 seconds off. 1.6. Let's not be dramatic with it. On the tire wear for him. So with Tommy with the tire wear, we had this with we had this last week with this series, if I remember correctly. The 9 going in a lap earlier than the 63. Ends up doing a faster lap, catches up to him as they merge his distance on and off pit road. He made up almost a second and assumed the lead and never gave it back, Tommy.
And that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, I know we're out here on iRacing and all, but at the end of the day, you want to get in, you want to have a perfect pit stop. None of that sliding forward, having to reverse, all that stuff will just kill you, especially when you're going up against these competitors like Taylor, Whitley, White, all these guys, man.
Well, Dayton doing an excellent job on and off pit road, because now he's got almost 1.7 over Whitley here as they go up on the back straightaway. These are the cameras we're talking about right here, Tommy. Let's get some on board here and just watch the hands. You see just how much wheel. He's got that thing turning over. I think that, what they say in cars, turn right to go left. Well, there he was turning left to go right.
But at the end of the day, these are the best camera angles, especially when you're doing an interview with a driver, being able to just come right into the cockpit, have that conversation.
Absolutely. These are some awesome camera angles. He's going down the front straightaway here, getting ready to get on the brakes, down 1 gear, down to second gear. You're getting into turn 1, up over the rumbles. You just see how much wheel he's fighting that car all the way around. So some absolutely fantastic shots here as he's going up through the S. He's got a little bit more of a right-hander to come right here. We'll stay on board with Mr. Whitley here until he gets through the bus stop, because we're really going to see these hands work here. It's like, so far tonight, it is a constant movement of the wheel for these guys. Well, like we said, I do want to go back, try to get you guys all caught up with all the action that happened on the racetrack here. This is Ken here, looking like we might have a notification. Oh, yeah, the rear of the car just steps out, but a great job, Tommy, not hitting the wall.
He's definitely going to lose some spots, but his car is going to be all right. He's going to be right back on track. He doesn't have to pit unless he's going for tires, you know. That's a smart play.
Oh, and the rumble strips get another one there. Jeremy as well, though. Nice job. Small little tap of the wall. So, I'm noticing a trend right now there. At the end of that green flag run, a lot of guys struggling on the downshifting. Oh, wow. It took a lot of the nose of that car off. But struggling to downshift, make the corners with just some lack of grip getting in, and then their exits. It just seems like the rear tires were absolutely just spinning and sliding on them, and just struggling to get these cars launched off the corners, and a couple of these guys going around.
Yes, we did. And I was going to ask, Craig, do you think as the tires are hotter, the tires wear more, when they hit those rumble strips, does it affect the car more in that time?
Oh, absolutely. It's like the best analogy I can kind of think of is, you know, on a rainy day, you're sitting at the stoplight, you start to accelerate when it turns green, you have grip, and then all of a sudden you hit the stop bar, that white painted bar on the racetrack, on the road, and then you just chirp your tires out of nowhere, it feels like. That is how these rumble strips will feel. Besides that, obviously, they're protruding up. You get the vibration, it jerks the wheel around. All of a sudden, you're getting grip, you're starting to accelerate, you're maybe halfway on the throttle, you get a little bit ballsy and give it a little bit more throttle, and all of a sudden, those rear tires spin and around she loops. It is sudden. You see it right there with the 99. He hung that right side, well, I guess the left side out there, coming out of that corner, and you see just how it stepped out just a little bit on him. This is where I wish iRacing would allow us the opportunity to get the throttle and brake input of these guys as we watch them go around, because besides the hand, the throttle work, especially if you're the 99 at Taylor or Whitley, you know, it's a dance. It is an absolute dance. It looks like these guys get hard on the brake, and then they're standing on it. You like right there, even when I was practicing, the car felt like it was pointed straight. I knew I had to come back over those rumble strips just like the 99 did. When I kept my foot down on it, Tommy, it was that stop bar on a rainy day. It looped around on me, even though the car was pointing straight. So when I did it again, I kind of had to back out to like 70-75% throttle just to keep the car pointing in the right direction. So it is incredible work that these guys are doing out there. Well, we got our eyes on the leader, Tommy. Let's go ahead and get a look back at some of these guys. I got the 31 right now looking like he's on pit road. Maybe stayed out quite a while on that set of tires. Maybe a strategy move here for the driver of the 31. Is he going to try to make this race on just 2 stops?
It's kind of looking like it.
Yeah, Gowan out there.
The math.
Well, it looks like he came in. Okay, so he came in and pitted, looking like on lap 4, maybe for the damage that he has on the nose of that thing. So maybe, yeah, okay, so that was just a normal fuel and tire run for him, because looking like everyone else is around the 13 to 14. So it looking like Gowan had to make an unscheduled stop there beginning of the race. So that is why he is on and off pit road just a little later in that one. Let's see who we can find through this field and get some eyes on. Josh Dillon here in the 18. We saw him in a battle last week. Had himself a solid race in a quiet race there for Josh Dillon in the 18. Right now, riding in P22 just in front. You see the lap car of Craig Martin here. I just love that you can see the brake rotors just absolutely glowing on these things as they get into these corners.
I bet. I mean, can you imagine? Could you imagine how hot these guys' brakes would be getting right now in real life?
Oh,
It's
this is why we've seen it here. That Jimmy Johnson clip of him just going into turn one and just hitting that wall head on, brake failure. We've seen plenty of brake failures here at the Glen. These guys are carrying a ton of speed around this racetrack. This isn't Sonoma where you see 130 maybe if you're lucky. Back when they had these cars going around here, you're seeing 185 right here before you're hard on the brakes to get into this section of the racetrack. Last week's winner, Casey Carrington here. We got a chat with him earlier, Tommy. Feeling a little bit better here this week. Riding solidly in the top 10 right now, up to P7, up 5 spots from his original starting position, Tommy.
Yeah, I've been kind of watching and seeing how that's going. I've looked, Miles is back there in 16th right now, but he's up 23 spots, as I look at it, he might be the top dog right now, hard charger.
Yeah, that was the next car I was just going to go take a look at. Michael Mullins here in the 64, up 9 spots. He is the biggest mover of the race with the exception of two guys I'm seeing right now. Oh, you got to scroll down there. You got to scroll down. Oh, okay. You're right. I said the wrong car. I had to scroll down further. Miles in the 1, up 21 spots from his starting position. So he started way back in this field. And he is right now up to P17 as he goes around the... Oh, who was that? Daniel Drew. Yeah, it sounded like he may have had some issues there. It sounded like he may have gotten a small piece of the wall off that last quarter. So up 22 spots right now for the driver of the 1 car.
Yes, Stephen Miles. He seems to be, maybe he's seen the stuff there at the beginning from Highline because he was featured there. His crew chief was talking, and maybe it pumped him up. Maybe he's like, man, I'm gonna go, and here he is up all these spots.
And that lap time is nothing to be ashamed about. 113 flat. The top lap in qualifying was 111.8. So yes, a little bit off that time, but quite a few laps into this run, Tommy. Nothing to be mad at, and right there you see it. Looking like just under 1.2 seconds off the leaders, which are setting an absolute blazing speed and blazing pace. So if Steven maybe gets an opportunity as this one goes on, it wouldn't surprise me if you see Steven make his way inside the top 10 at some point in this race. There's another guy, Dylan Rosenberg, here in the 91 machine. He as well continues to move up through the field. He's up 12 spots in the 21st position, Tommy.
Yes, I was looking at him as well. And it wasn't too long ago. He was just shy of the hard chart. But all of a sudden, Miles just goes a streak and passed a ton of cars.
Yeah, on an absolute warpath right now. Getting another notification that Ken Robnett may have gone around as well. We'll get a look at that here shortly. Just trying to key up everything right now. Aaron as well in the 95 here. He is up 12 positions up in the 27. I just clicked on 2PA, boys. We got a York, Pennsylvania. He's about an hour west of me. I am out a little closer to Philadelphia. I'm literally between probably like Harrisburg and Philadelphia. And then I also noticed that Dylan as well was from Bath, PA. So a couple Pennsylvania boys getting some screen time out here tonight. Well, while we got an opportunity here, Tommy, let's go ahead and let's see. Ken is struggling right now out there on the racetrack. Let's try to get that queued up for you guys and see what happened to the driver of the 09. A guy who was really flying through the field last week at Indy. This week, that rumble strip gets him again. But again, good job. Kept it out of the fence. Been around twice, looped it twice, and turn one, Tommy. Car still looks clean. That'll make a crew chief happy.
Absolutely it would. I know if that was me, I'd be really happy. But now he's now all in this pack with all these guys. So we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm gonna put it back here at full speed. So he gets through, he gets on his brakes just so well. Then I'll put it quarter speed right here. See how the suspension lifts up? He's back hard on the throttle, and those rumble strips, just the rear of that car is just upset. It's up off the air, and you can see it here as he goes back over. Just the suspension moving around, and that is what loops the driver of the 09 around once again. I told you, those rumble strips can be a handful, Tommy.
I definitely can see it, but my question to you would be, what is the best way to take that turn? Because it's eaten. It's got him now twice, and I'm sure if it's getting him, it would definitely get me.
Yeah, so there's so many different ways to approach this racetrack, and that's what makes it so fun here. As you see, the battle for the lead is tightening back up, Tommy. You see it here even between the two leaders. There's so many different lines that you could take. You could run that corner wide just like the 09 was trying to do, get up over those rumble strips. We've seen the leaders of the 99 and the 77 doing it. You could be more reserved. You can back this corner up, stay under those rumble strips, line up your S's. I mean, here you definitely carry more momentum going up there. You keep it tight. There's ways to get around this racetrack that are fast. That are the ways you gotta push yourself to the absolute limit to get around this racetrack. Be comfortable being uncomfortable with driving these cars. And then there are lines that are more reserved, but hey, you know what? You just admit to yourself, I'm not winning this week. If I can hit 113s lap after lap, I'm going to come home in a good starting position. Maybe you stay up off those rumble strips. You stay under the rumble strips. You're backing your corners up rather than attacking the corners. That is what makes Watkins Glen so fun. And one of the things I love about this track, too, and this car right here, Tommy, I don't know if you've noticed, it's great. You see that front splitter up off the ground, and as soon as he gets to the brake, that nose just drops to the ground. You'll see it here in a 1. You see that thing up off the ground? Just, it was these cars, man. They're so awesome. Right there, plants back down to the racetrack, dives it off there. The brake rotor's glowing. So you see it there. He is a little bit straighter than some of these guys. The 99 is kind of taking it more, instead of a hard 90, he's taking it more at a 70-degree angle. He's getting down. He's hitting the apex. And then he's kind of straightening the wheels to be straight over that rumble strip, and then putting wheel back into it once he's off of it, trying to realign himself up into the S's, which, I mean, an absolute fantastic job. Going to look once again on board here with the driver to 77.
Wait.
Oh!
Let me interrupt you.
Okay.
I've got something to do.
Oh.
Caution.
Oh!
Bam.
That is what we got to do earlier. We were alluding to. I'm glad you were paying attention. I was having fun. Hoping any of the drivers, if they were listening. Yes! The admins here gave us a little bit of power here this evening. They said, hey, we want you guys to throw in a random number generator, and you don't tell a soul, and you throw the yellow flag when you see fit. Just don't throw it in the first 4, and don't throw it with 4 to go. So there you are. This will shake up everything, Tommy.
It will, and I got to tell you, waiting 27 laps and for them to get to the short chute to throw that, I was just, man, I wanted to say something. But, Casey, he trusted that I would do the right thing. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good at pushing the button. Sure enough, I hit it right on the money.
There you go. Yeah, there's a specific spot that you have to throw it here at Watkins Glen to get the pace car out in front of the field immediately, instead of everyone taking the yellow, going all the way back around this racetrack, and then catching the pace car. Because then, Tommy, sometimes it opens the pits too soon, and the guys in the back of the pack that were just running 25th, they're like, hey, the pits are open. They go pit. The leaders have to come in next time by. They're leading the race. It shakes and screws up the whole thing. So good job to you getting that out when it was supposed to. So now, we'll get a look here. Tommy. We saw the 77 closing the gap that time. And you know what, Tommy? For being a random generator, looking like that was quite possibly right at the end of their fuel run anyway. Maybe we should have been paying attention a little bit more and made all these guys go down pit road and then screwed them up. But no, this is going to make it interesting here.
Well, while we're under caution, if you don't mind, I'd like to give a shout out because, I just realized, hey, we're at Watkins Glen. Well, earlier this season in the Arca Menards, the Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, he ran a Highline Racing Network logo on his car at Watkins Glen. I watched it on Fox Sports 2 with the wife. It was amazing, man. Big shout out to Brayton.
That is fantastic. That's so cool, man. That is cool. You're gonna have to get some photos of that up here for us so we can put that on the broadcast to show everyone else. Well, I gotta imagine. Oh, Tommy. I was gonna say, gotta imagine a lot of guys are about to come down pit road, but well, it looks like your leaders are, with maybe the exception of a few. Casey Carrington stays out on the racetrack. I thought I saw the one as well. Stephen Miles. Nope. It looked like these guys are all trying to say tail end of the lead lap. I think maybe some of these guys had started their way out pit road. So, Tommy, now if your race got screwed here by this caution, I had nothing to do with it. Tommy hit all the buttons. I'm going to throw you under the bus, Tommy, and I'm gonna put it in reverse and back it back over you.
Oh, no. Hey, at the end of the day, we basically had between 6 and 39 with it being at 45. And we put it into the generator. It popped out 27. And, hey, integrity says that's what we're going to do. And that's what we did. We threw it at 27 on a short shoot, just like we was instructed. And I think at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's random. And, these guys didn't know when it was coming. So there could be a few guys that are going to make out on this deal that potentially, ended up pitting due to getting wrecked or something. They might gain some spots off of this.
Yeah, for sure. And, right now, Casey, I do not believe he came on the pit road. Maybe he did. Hold on. Want to get a look. Oh, he came on the pit road 5 laps ago. Hutton was on 3 laps ago. So I can promise you, Casey had absolutely zero idea. He just said, hey, these are the laps you're not allowed to. The first 4, the last 4. Other than that, have at it. And so I can assure you this was not planned. I just want to put that out there. Casey is the owner of the league, and yes, I see he has inherited the lead, but I can promise you on everything, Casey had absolutely zero indication as to when this was going to happen. So now, I know there's not a lot of traffic, Tommy, but it's the first time besides the last few laps, Mr. Dayton has seen cars in front of him.
It has, and my question to you is, how long do you think he's going to have these guys obstructing his view of beautiful Watkins Glen?
I can't imagine it'll take long.
I don't think so either. I think
it's not that Casey hasn't been putting down some beautiful laps out here, but the 99 and 77 are in a class of their own out here. But now I am noticing something here, Tommy. You got
What's
the
that?
3. I believe was Thompson our points leader. I'm getting double check that for me. I think I'm getting myself
right now.
But I had a lot of cars that were running in the top 10 there. Wait until 1 lap to go before green. They went in. I'm not sure if they topped off or not. I can get that data as they go back green for you. But a lot of guys, you see it there. They're just catching the back of this pack. Just went in and pitted. So I believe we're going to get restarted with about 14, 15 or so laps to go. Now, Tommy, if you're Carrington, you might be in a bad spot on fuel or tire wear where those guys who just went in, they might be saying, hey, if I can save a little, that's the last time we'll see pit road this race.
I feel like just watching the race, that's all about tires. But I did get that answer for you. I'll go ahead and give you your top 5 in the points right now.
Okay.
Justin Thompson is 1.
Okay.
Stephen Miles, Lilith Peters, Kyle Ethier, Connor LaFrance. That is your top 5 in points right now. So Dayton Taylor, who's actually in 16, if he can get a good finish here, he's really going to skyrocket up the points list.
Well, all right. So, so your points leader using that opportunity to go down pit road there right before we went back green. So the green flag is back out. We should stay green until the end of this one. The tail end of the field just catching up as they go down into turn 1. This could get interesting here. We had it there on the first lap. It got interesting. We got one wide. It's the 09 again, the 62. Likewise, as the leaders get funneled back through here, not seeing anything there from the good old blimp camera. We'll go back up here through the S's, and you said it wasn't going to take long there. He's already all over the back of the 9 as they go out of the S's, down the back straightaway. The 99 right back to the lead before they even get to the good old bus stop here.
I thought they were going to touch it.
Oh, somebody's in the wall hard there.
Really?
Somebody.
The 7's around.
Yes, I was going to say, I think Jacob crushed that inside wall there on the entry to the bus stop as he got in. We didn't get a crash notification, so let's just quickly old school rewind here for you guys. I think he's going to nick this inside wall on entry. Right here. We were in the speed cam, and I noticed somebody come in. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. He almost rolls that thing over. He got in there just way off of where he wanted to. Something tells me, Tommy, just by watching this here, as he got on the brakes, maybe he has too much rear brake into it, because something that right here, something goes weird. Oh, he realizes he is overcommitted. He realized it, try to turn it back left, and he unfortunately there for the driver of the 7 was not far out of the lead, but now I can't believe that car's even running, to be honest with you. But another guy who has spent a majority of this race up front did not get the start that he wanted to, like Dayton did. Now mired back in 4th, 2.4 seconds away, letting the leader pull away right now. Could this be because the 77 is in traffic? Could this be intentional, like we said on the fuel tire strategy? Maybe he's saying, yep, go ahead. You get out there, burn up all that fuel, use up all those tires. I will see you in 14 laps.
I love how you say that. But more than likely, you are right. And you know, watching now, you know, Carrington now chasing down Taylor, as Taylor's, like I said, he wants that, he loves that view of that open road out here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, so Mark is definitely slower than he has been all night. He cranked it up a little bit that lap, but definitely off his normal pace. So I think there's some gamesmanship being done out there as Dayton Taylor continues to lead. If Casey's able to back this run up, I know Casey said he was a little bit further down in the point standings than he would have liked last week when he won last week. But if he can back this up with a P2 or a solid top 5 finish, that might be just what the doctor ordered as they go through the season, Tommy.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I think more than likely, I think what we see right here, barring any last few lap battles, I kind of feel like this top 5 is going to probably stay. These are the guys that I believe are going to finish top 5. We might have a couple move spots in between there, but I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, I would agree with you here as a battle for 5th and 6th. I was heating up here. You get a good look at Elijah Cole going around the racetrack there. Then you actually get to see Elijah Cole down there with his picture. You just listen to these guys play with the throttle. I mean, they got their hands full. It sounds like Elijah may have asshole touched the grass in a couple spots, just using as much of the racetrack as he can. Mark Whitley still holding fourth, but noticing he is closing. But, oh, looky what we missed.
Arrington overtook him a few turns back, it looked like.
All right. So Carrington back to the lead. Of course, we talk about Carrington and 99 for like 5 laps around here. We go away from them for 40 seconds, and then they go and do something out there on the racetrack. Well, there is one other thing I do want to quickly check in on real quick as the laps are counting down. It looks like Nick Gowan, a guy that we were talking about earlier, he had some issues here on the racetrack as well. Looking like it's going to happen in turn 1. Once again, Tommy. Yep, the exit of turn 1. Biting a lot of drivers tonight. Carrington
Taking a
back
look here
to the lead.
Yes, he is.
We got Elijah Cole has gone around a guy that was just making his way into the top 5 here. Gets to the inside of the 64. They're going to make contact. You never want to be too wide going through the S's. And the 64, 65 get into it there. He's still, wow, that car was slideways, as they say. And he goes around. So Elijah Cole, a guy we were just on board with, trying to make it too wide, going through the S's. Sometimes not what you want to be. And unfortunately for Elijah, it does not work out for him.
It doesn't. It almost looked like there was, they touched, they hit. It looked like maybe one was, I don't know. I thought they were going to be able to save it there for a second, but then they hit again, and then the 65 just tore into that wall.
Yeah, so you're seeing a good majority of this field right now has unfortunately put themselves in a bad spot. A lot of guys are out in this one. We started with just double checking everything. 41 cars entered this evening. 39 of them took to the racetrack. And right now, Tommy, only 23 remain on the lead lap. And now you got some guys on pit road as well, looking like, Elijah Cole, Jacob there in the 7, and Garrett Johnson as well in that old Michael Waltrip car as the 72 on pit road. Wait a second, did we miss something, Tommy? I'm seeing it on pit road here. Was that the 92 sitting back there on pit road? The 91 of Dylan Rosenberg? The whole car is murdered.
It is. The whole left tire is completely gone. I'm going to see if I can't locate that.
You're going to have to go back and try to let me know where that may have happened, because he has been there for some time. We did not get... See, this is the thing. If you guys ever worked with SDK before... Well, you know what? Pardon the interruption, Casey. This is what you're working with. So all the things over there on the right, all this right here, is it telling you all the passes, who's left the track. The red is who crashes, whatnot, your camera angles, all that good stuff. That is what we're all doing over here while we're calling this race. And unless it goes red, it doesn't really catch our attention. So maybe Rosenberg went off track. And we just got an off-track notification, and it didn't give us a crash notification, but a guy who was flying his way up through the field now destroyed on pit road.
I think I'm looking. It looks like it might have happened on lap 30 for him.
Lap 30. Okay, we'll see if we can dial that one up here towards the end of this one, but with 8 laps to go, has Casey been playing with the whole field the whole night? He was riding in the top 5, but he's opened it up 1.5 seconds now over Dayton Taylor. I mean, Casey is putting down some blistering times right now for for being quite a few laps into this run, quite a few laps on those tires. Remember, Casey has 5 more laps on these tires than Dayton and company right now, pulling away almost up to 2 seconds.
All right, so I found out for Rosenberg.
Okay.
It wasn't his fault. The 53 ended up going in, hitting the wall, bouncing back right in front of him, and Rosenberg nailed him.
Oh, boy.
And
All right.
that was lap 31. We'll be able to check it out.
Oh, Casey Carrington now with 8, coming to 7 laps to go. Coming to pit road. So as he pulled away, now Casey has to give up the lead and come down pit road. But he's only got 5 more laps 5 more laps on his tires. 5 less laps of fuel. So with 7 to go, begs the question, now Jared Hutton, a guy having a quiet night, he has gotten ahead of Dayton. And Mark Whitley is now coming back up through the field. With 7 to go, he only had 5 more laps out there on the racetrack than these guys. If the maths, with 2 laps to go, could the 99, the 50, and the 77 and company need to also come back down pit road, Tommy?
It's kind of looking like. But, hey, I mean, the 50 with Hutton, I mean, he's only up 4 spots to the lead. So he's been running, he's been running front pack all night, the top 5. So maybe he was waiting for his opportunity to pounce, really pounce on these leaders.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree. And remember the other part of this aspect, too. Like we said with Casey, he only had 5 more laps. If we went back and we looked at the drivers of, like Justin Thompson and company here, they topped off before they went green. Could they have been saving this whole run? Where they've just been backing up their corners, clutching it when they can, saving fuel. Remember, they got 1 more lap of fuel in these cars. Could he only have needed to save 1 more additional lap? Could we see the 3 right now running in 8th? Pull a strategy call to win this one.
It's possible.
This right here is one of my favorite shots. We're right over your car.
That one right there is my favorite, especially when they come right at the camera.
Oh, yeah. So, got a notification about Casey Carrington. That was just him leaving the pits here now. So let's get a live look back in with the 50 here. Not pitting this time, so begs the question. Let's look at it here. Looking at the stint length, Hutton's already at 14, looking like 15 to 16 is the most anyone has stretched it. And then Taylor, Whitley, and White already on 12. And 16's the most that you could stretch it with 5 laps to go. Not looking promising for the guys who have led most of this one. Could Carrington come back around? We're going back and looking there at Thompson. He's only been out there 11 laps, 1 less. Could he be saving? Oh, man. We had an amazing race with the MOTD series. That was last week. It came down to fuel and pitch strategy. And, boy, it was interesting. But also begs the question here now. The 99 has been dominant. We've seen him let the 50 go. Now he is in the clutches of the 77. Could he also be saving fuel, Tommy?
I think so. I think he might actually have his back up against the wall, and it's either this or pit. So we shall see.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to play out. We got Jared Hutton now. He has gone to pit road. So the car that was leading this one just have led the last 3 laps. 4 laps to go. Now on pit road. So now the lead goes back to the 99 of Dayton Taylor. But with 4 laps to go, is he safe?
Hey.
He's led 20 of these laps so far here tonight.
I know, and you see Mark Whitley's right there, Curtis White,
Curtis,
these
who
guys.
dominated Indianapolis. And I'll ask you the same thing I said about Casey Carrington last week. These guys are right there, Tommy. They're right there. How hard do you push it to go get them? He got it stolen away from him last week. Stolen, dominated 90% of that race. Now here he is sitting in third with two guys that might be short on fuel. Is he biting at it now? The same position that Casey was in last week.
Bet he is.
Oh no. Oh, no. Okay, there he is. All right, we just lost. Oh, is he slide? You see just how sideways these cars is. Is the 77 now going to make a big move into the S's? The 50 just off of pit road. They're side by side, heading through the S's. The 99 is wide. He's going to get a little loose out there, but now Mark Whitley back to the lead here, Tommy. And as you can see, like I said, the speeds here are incredible. 160 coming up through the S's already before he gets on the brakes, up in the 170s. Already, so even for an old style NASCAR car, they are flying around here almost 100 miles an hour through the bus stop.
But I'm just curious, the 99, his tires are definitely, they look like they might be shot at this point. He's sliding everywhere, but does he have enough left in the tank to get back in front of Whitley?
Yeah, it is going to be very interesting as we're coming through the final corners here, heading to 2 laps to go. This is where we said these guys are going to probably be max on their fuels. The 77 going to have a small brush with the wall out of turn 7 there, heading down. So Whitley, 2 laps to go from the Glen. Seeing Chris Worrell here on pit road as well. They're in the 06. Machine was having a great run, was up 12 spots, but with 2 laps to go, has to make his way on pit road. So now, Lilith Peters, another guy that you said in the top of the point standings, now finds himself in P3. Connor LaFrance, likewise, a guy in the top 5 in points, top 5 in the race. Justin Thompson here, a guy who topped off before that last run. Before this run went green, inside the top 5 as well. Tommy, boy, this is going to be interesting. We're really going to have to keep an eye as the 77 bounce sideways coming out of that corner. The 99 fading just ever so slightly. So your pole sitter now back to the lead, coming to the final few corners. Does he have enough tire? Does he have enough fuel to get back around and complete the pole to checkers? Whitley takes the white flag for the American Cup Series here at Watkins Glen.
Yes, he has. This is going to be, what's he got here? Down to 6 more turns towards victory. What's it going to be? Is Dayton Taylor going to make a jump at it? I'd love to see it happen. I want to see that battle.
Up through the gears, coming out of the S's, heading down the back straightaway, staring down the bus stop. He is about half a lap, 2.42 miles. And the total for this, down to about 1.25 miles here for the leaders. Does he have enough fuel? Gets through the bus stop cleanly into the carousel. The long, sweeping right-hander here at the Glen. The 99 can see him there just in behind. He's got his hands full. He's hanging the rear end out on that thing, trying to get some speed, trying to be close enough to pull off a dive bomb. I don't think he is close enough. This 77 through 6, looking at turn 7. If he's got enough fuel to get it up off of turn 7, here Whitley is going to go from the pole to the checker flag. Looks like there's enough fuel in it. The 77 of Mark Whitley will win at Watkins Glen here this evening.
Wow. What a last 4 laps there for Whitley. Catches Dayton. Looks like he got loose. Just flies past him and never looks back. Outstanding.
Yeah, but in a very, very risky part of the racetrack, stuck it to the inside of the 99 there and makes his move through the S's and then sets sail. Well, I do want to get a word with your winner. We'll see if he is in the Discord. But for now, let's see if we can get a look at the final results from this evening. I believe we still have cars going around the racetrack. We do. So we're going to have to wait on that just a minute, as it looked like Kyle Ether still to come across the finish line here. And then we will officially get your final results for this evening. But Mark Whitley going to grab the victory here tonight. Kyle Cameron's up there in chat there. Tommy, you see him? We found him. He's been missing for forever.
I heard he's getting closer to making a comeback.
Oh.
Let me know when you're ready for Mark Whitley, and we'll get him in the chat.
Well, whenever you're ready, go ahead and send 10 Nights winner Mark Whitley in the chat.
Yo. Here he is.
Mark, from the pole, an exciting last few laps. That looks like the 50 might be pushing you around the racetrack. Do you even have enough fuel to go do a burnout?
I'm out. I'm like totally out.
So how close was it? How far after the finish line was that thing dry?
I crossed the line with about 0.1 left, so
boy,
coasting around, I barely made it up the S's.
Well, an absolute showdown between you, Dayton Taylor, and Casey Carrington went out there and led for this one. The cars look like an absolute handful, but kind of in the best way. Just give us your perspective from start to finish on this one, Mark.
Yeah, they were definitely a handful. You had to really be careful with the throttle. And honestly, if you got in the corner too deep, they were pushing like dump trucks. So it's kind of a balancing act of trying to figure out how to get in the corner good without killing the fronts, and then making sure you're real easy with the throttle getting off. So it was, I really like this racetrack, and I think it's the first time I've run them with this car. So it's nice to be able to come out on top on it.
As you park it on the start-finish line, well, you don't really have an option for a burnout, so that's the second best thing out there. We saw a lot of guys having issues into turn one. You and Dayton kind of had your own strategy. I didn't see a lot of guys really going after it. Kind of seemed like you, almost like a reverse diamond. You got it checked up, made the apex of turn one, but kind of drove it straight out towards the outside wall and then set yourself up for the S's. Was that something that you learned over practice during the week earlier, or is that just your normal line here at Watkins Glen?
Honestly, ever since they did this update, I don't know, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, when they updated the track limits, that's just kind of the line. You can run here to be fast. That's what they do in real life. So, like you said, just kind of brake, try to get an early apex, and just kind of let the car you can try to get just straight off the corner and just go right out to that wall and just pray it sticks good enough. It was on that restart there, I got a little bit too greedy, and I got sideways and about ate it. So, it might have, honestly, being back, putting me back a few spots might have helped me save a little bit. So I guess in the long run, I guess it wound up being good. But yeah, that line is kind of weird, but that's kind of what you need to do here to be fast, because you just can keep so much more momentum coming off the corner, especially with these, because if you tried to pinch it down tight and keep it within the rumble strips, it would just step the rear out. So it's just one of those quirky things about running NASCARs on road courses that, track limits a lot of times don't really exist.
Yeah, and that's I was saying that to Tommy earlier that they did just update this track a couple weeks ago. Before that, I mean, you would try to run the line you were running, or you would get shoved out there, and especially on officials week, next thing you know, you're like 1X, 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 1X. You're like, oh my God, this is the line that they run in real life. What are we doing?
Yeah, there was, before they updated, you could still kind of get out there a little bit, but you could barely, all you could do is just get your left side on the other side of the rumble strips. Any more than that, you get either a slowdown or a 1X. I'm kind of glad they updated. I know some people complain about it, but it's more fun with these. These aren't road course cars, so you got to make some give and take with them. So they're fun to drive, especially me and Dalton. They're battling the whole race, and I got caught. I pitted a lap early the first time and got caught behind some lap cars, and I accidentally got one of them jacked up coming out of the bus stop because I think he had to get woed up, and I couldn't get slowed up in time. I don't remember who it was, but I apologize to whoever that was. I couldn't slow up in time. I was trying to be easy, and I think there was just a log jam, and put me behind Dalton. Tried to run him down into that run, and I was literally, the lap the caution came out, I was pitting that lap, so I had to save and make sure I made it back around. And after that, it was just like, oh, we're going to be about a lap short. So it's like, well, I know how to save fuel here, so let's just try that. And my spotter was telling me like about four or five laps ago. He's like, all right, you're about half a lap to the good. So I started picking it up, and I saw Dalton. I don't know if he was struggling or he was just trying to save, and I got around him after he made one mistake getting into one, and I was just all right, just run smooth but still save a little bit. And then that last lap, I had about 0.3 to the good coming to the line. I'm like, all right, I can run this pretty hard, and I figured he would try, and then thing looks like he had to really save at the end of the lap because he was going to run out. So I was able to gap him, and then, like I said, just barely crossed the line with about a tenth of a gallon left.
Well, congratulations on the win here this evening. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, big shout out Brantley, my spotter. He does all my paint jobs at Harpoon Design. Check him out, harpoondesign.com. He does awesome work. He's one of the best painters on iRacing. He'll got a form you can fill out. Just get you all situated. My other sponsor on the car, Jawa.gg. They're the #1 online gaming marketplace for gamers by gamers. Best buyer seller protections on them out there. If you need a new setup or just an upgrade, check them out. They're the place you'd be. All these league members here, Casey putting on the league. I know he was waiting so long for these cars to come out, and I feel like ever since last year I've been kind of having the bugaboo in here, and I finally got back on top and finally won a race, so it feels really good, and appreciate him putting all the effort into running this league.
Well, awesome. Congratulations on the win tonight there, Mark.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Well, Tommy, we have our entire top 3, I should say, and we'll try to go ahead and get some more guys' thoughts in this one, but we'll let you take it away with P2 here tonight, Tommy. Dayton Taylor in chat, P2 finisher.
Dayton Taylor, you got to tell us, man, you got comps?
I do.
We want to know right off the bat, when Whitley overtook you there with a few laps to go, what was the deal there? Like, did you just, were the tires gone? What happened? Give it to us.
Trying to save, trying to defend, and then I hear my spotter go 3 top or whatever, and did not know a card came off pit road.
Yeah,
so I had entered in the 3rd lane in the entering the S's.
Yeah, the 50 was just coming out of pit road.
Yeah, unlucky. Kind of the story of my season so far.
Well, I know that when you speak on that, I know it probably hurts a little bit to lose it there, but at the end of the day, you still got a P2 finish. Looking at the points list, coming into tonight, you were sitting in 16th position. So this is still a great race. You're still going to get a lot of points out of this. Can you take a deep breath or how long is it going to take for you to say, yep, that was a good race?
Let's see, what's the schedule looking like? Probably until we get to Kansas. When I have another chance.
I was gonna say
wow.
That's the real racer's answer. He'll give you the cookie cutter answers. Oh yeah, it was a great race, but inside, that MF is hurting right up until the green flag of qualifying at Kansas.
Yeah, because I had him at the second stint there, jumped him on pit road, and I knew the random caution was just gonna come, and I had to hope that I was entering pit road on that time, or after the cycle, but it is what it is.
Well, you blame. I threw Tom under the bus. This was all his fault. He hit the button.
Oh no, that's fine. Casey's the one that's more mad at y'all than me. Even though he's not really mad.
You're the one that did the randomizer, not me.
Damn it! The truth comes out. No. Well, so we were asking Mark there, with the fuel kind of coming into a mix right there also at the end of the tire run, with it getting really light there at the end. We saw you were trying to obviously push it to get that lead back, but with light fuel, the tire, the track temps, was this more of a handful than a traditional Watkins Glen race from your perspective? Was it more just the car and the raw horsepower? What are your thoughts on kind of this car and this track and how the ending of this thing kind of played as far as a handling aspect?
This car's a blast.
Yes.
Especially here with the new remodel and everything. The setup we were running was also very, very loose. So you really could not be aggressive on the throttle because it will punish you.
Yes, I actually, I don't know if you saw me. I was facing the wrong direction a lot, but I got out there at practice just to play because I've never turned a lap in these cars. So this is one of my favorite tracks, and I can tell you, it was loose. Holy cow!
Yeah, there were a couple laps we were a bit sideways up the hill, but all fun at the end of the day. P2 is P2. It's my first top 5 of the season. We gained a lot of team points. That's kind of the goal right now. Because I DNQ Daytona. So,
Oh, oof, that doesn't hurt or feel good. Well,
Yeah.
anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here for tonight?
all the Kaiju Cat guys and Lilith especially. We've been grinding it out. We're trying to
Kaiju
put
Cat.
extra time in. Kaiju
That's
Cat.
what it is. Tell us what is
Yes.
Kaiju Cat.
I could not tell you.
That's the best
I
answer.
was looking. I was looking at the team, and I seen Kaiju Cat, and I was like, all right, if I was gonna get my AI people to do something with Kaiju Cat, I don't know if I could make them say that. I really don't.
Wait, you told me you went
I'm
down to the
not.
pits for real interviews, Tommy.
Oh, you're so gullible. But hey, man, at the end of the day, P2's P2, great top 5, outstanding race.
Yeah, it was
looking
fun
forward
to
to-
watch you guys whip around this track and handle these cars.
Bless.
That was Dayton
Right.
Taylor P2. So let's go ahead and bring in a guy who quietly flew under the radar for the most part. Started P6, finishes top 5, third place for you tonight, Lilith.
Hello, thank you. It was a pretty good race.
So how much fun were you having behind the wheel tonight?
A lot of fun. I had fun. More fun not saving fuel though. That also was kind of annoying, but
You blame Tommy
I
for
still
that.
had a good finish. from it.
Tommy hit the button. I forgot that it was the point to throw it, so Tommy hit the button. But
I should have forgot, Tommy.
well, you still come home P3 here tonight. I was asking the top 2 guys, how much fun are these cars on this track? The lack of grip. You kind of threw a wrench on you, needing to save fuel, whether to be aggressive. Kind of with the mixture of everything. How much fun, just in general, from green flag to checker, were you having?
It was a lot of fun. I really like road course racing more than anything, honestly. So it's kind of like wrestling a car for forever.
I agree. Tommy, anything for Mr. Peters here?
Well, I would say, looking at you were sitting in third place in points in the league coming in tonight, and you follow it up with a third place finish. It appears that you are consistent. You're competitive on the road course, the super speedways, and we look forward to watching you continue to race in this series. And good luck to you.
Thank you. Try my best.
Well, Lilith Peters finishes P3, man. I don't know if his mic was going bad. He seems young, and you know what? These kids just get better and better. I'm only 33. I'm not that old, but dang, some of these kids that I see on this simulator now are so good, and they whip my rear end. It makes me feel bad because I've been playing these NASCAR games since NASCAR Papyrus on like one of the first PCs that they started doing video games on. Well, let's see who's still down in this one, down here in chat. Well, there's one guy we heard him say he gave us the power to throw it, right? So, we'll see if Mr. Casey, he is in here. Let's bring him in. He gave us the power to throw the caution, and then it seemed like maybe we screwed him with the caution. Casey, take it away.
Yeah, man, you couldn't have thrown that a lap earlier. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you whatever the number says, you throw it the lap before that? Like, dang, man, I was so close. If I would have pitted there with everybody else if I'd known that they were going to be able to stretch it, but the caution came out with what 18 to go, and so it's a 13 lap run. So I'm like, oh, there's no way they can make it. But by the time we restarted, I knew my goose was cooked because I knew they were going to be able to save, a half a lap or whatever they had to, and I was like 5 laps short, so I had no chance in hell.
Well, it was close. Mark said he crossed the start-finish line with about a tenth of fuel left.
Yeah, I know Dayton sputtered, he said, coming to the line. So.
Oh.
And that's the thing. I was trying to fight Dayton to try to run him out, but then I'm like, well, everybody behind him's saving anyway, so there's no point in picking on him. I might as well just get out and try to build as much of a gap as I can. But
still a top 10 finish tonight, though. Even having to pit with 5 laps to go, still managed to battle.
Yeah, and y'all probably didn't even see me nearly bin it in the bus stop with 2 to go. So
no, we unfortunately this one we're gonna go and get actual some highlights through. I'm gonna have to go through save the replay and get it because we also missed the 90. We missed the 91. He looked like he was dead on pit road, and we never got a notification for that. He was missing the hood, the bumper, the left front. I imagine if the windshield could come out of it, that thing would have been gone. He was killed. We were just bragging about him having a good night, but SDK was like, whatever.
You know what caused that then? If you were bragging about him, that's commentator's curse.
Yes, and we were just talking. Tommy, tell him about what I was just saying Tuesday. Every guy we said Tuesday, what happened?
Every guy. I mean, we were talking about 2 guys, and they wrecked right in the midst of, right while we were live talking about them. And the worst was maybe a lap.
Y'all do me a favor next week at Dover. Don't mention me.
We'll just pretend like he's not on the racetrack. We were tonight. We were even talking about Michael Mullins and I believe what was that? The 65 when they went into the S's, and then we changed the camera back to you, and it wasn't but 3 seconds later they went through the S's side by side and they wadded them up. So maybe we just put it on a static camera and whatever it catches, Tommy.
Hey, that actually might be a good idea.
I mean, you can put it on focus on Rex like a lot of people do in practice. So maybe that's
right,
because everybody wants to see you cut away from a battle for the lead to watch a back marker spin out for the 10th time. That's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum.
And it's funny. Ever since the last iRacing update, SDK has been super delayed, even when you put it on the crashes mode. Even through iRacing, where the crashes, like the guys started facing the right direction again, and then all of a sudden, just because a guy gets sideways, it takes it off. Even if you're at Talladega off of the 30-car pileup, and the guy who's checking up and drives onto the apron, it's like, oh, let's put it there because that guy's wrecking. It's meanwhile, there's a guy 75 feet in the air. So I don't know. Hopefully, iRacing. I know with the frame rate issues that they have acknowledged. Maybe this is something that concurs with that, but hopefully they can get that fixed too.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of issues. I blue screened there during the little warm up, so I was worried the whole race that I was going to have an engine failure. And I've had this PC for 5 years and never blue screened until about 5 minutes before the grid tonight. So it's definitely, I'm being tested here. But hey, I got a win last week, so like you said, a top 10. This ties my second best finish of the season, even making an extra pit stop. So yeah, all in all, pretty good night. I guess it was pretty chaotic back through the field. I'll have to go back and look at some of those wrecks. Apparently the track got blocked on the restart.
Oh boy.
But yeah, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. Glad to have you guys aboard. Thanks for helping us out with the caution. Like I said, man, you just got to throw it a lap earlier next time.
Well, we'll remember that. Whatever the number generator spits out, we'll go a lap sooner.
Just just halfway between when I pit and when you're supposed to throw it, that's when you throw it.
All right.
But shout out to everybody that watched the broadcast tonight. Shout out to Mark. He finally got his first win. Y'all probably got a good glimpse tonight of why he's the GOAT in this league. He hasn't, he struggled this year with these new Gen 4s, but he showed his road course dominance especially. This was where he really came onto the scene in this league. Watkins going a few years ago, and Dayton Taylor had a hell of a run. I was hoping he was going to be able to get his first win, but, these damn fuel mileage races, I guess. But shout out to everybody else that came out and raced. I know a lot of people hate road courses, and people complain. You could put an F1 car on the track and they'd complain about the setup still. So I know how that is. But
100%.
Shout out, like I said, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. Shout out to the viewers and shout out to the drivers. And hopefully I can survive next week at Dover, though I'm not very optimistic.
Oh well. If it's anything like these first 2 races we got to do, I think that 9 car could find its way into contention. as this season continues on. Again, sorry, blame Tommy, but still a top 10 for you here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Good luck, man.
Well, Tommy, there's a couple other guys down here in chat. Do you want to see if we could bring in? Let's see here. I'm just going through. Oh, well, you know what? We also didn't do yet. We got so wrapped up in these interviews there, Tommy. You got to call me out. I'm slacking. We didn't go through the final results tonight yet. What are we doing?
Give it to him.
Here we are. Mark Whitley, Dayton Taylor, Lilith Peters, Connor LaFrance battles all the way back inside the top 5. Christopher Heller Jr. there in the 16. I did notice him at a couple points in the race, just solidly kept that car on the racetrack and battles all the way for a top 5. Michael Mullins, Justin Thompson, James Silvers, Curtis White in the 63, last week's runner-up finisher. Finishes now ahead this week in front of Casey Carrington. So why don't we dial up Mr. White if you can, Aaron Clayball. At Clayball in the 95, he's also in chat there, Tommy. Grab him because he absolutely flew through the field here this evening. He was up 23 positions. I'd love to hear his take on this one as you see the rest of your final results here this evening. Poor Craig Martin. He got caught up in that lap 1 wreck. Still manages 28th, only 3 laps down. As you see the rest of the field here, some of the guys that got caught up early and retired just a few laps into this one, Tommy. So let me know if you can grab Stephen Miles also up 25 spots. Aaron Clayball. So if you could find either of those guys, love to try to get a chat with them, figure out how in the world they got all the way through this field. They may have already gone to bed. It is a Thursday night here, so a lot of people with work in the morning. I don't see either of them. So next week, if you guys are watching the broadcast, we're going to come find you because we want to hear your thoughts on this entire one in house. Like I said, Steve Miles up 25 spots. Got to give him a big shout out for that, finishing at P14. And Aaron in the 95 up 23 spots, Tommy, and finishes 11th. Well, Tom, I got to ask your opinion on all of this here tonight. Was this one of your first times just even spectating a Watkins Glen race?
I watched the Watkins Glens race with Brayton Laster for that Arkham Menards race that time, of course. But I've run a couple of these when you guys would throw them on every now and again with the
GT3s. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot you were there.
Trevor and all those guys. I wasn't competitive with the likes of you guys, but after watching this track, watching these guys, go around this track, it makes me want to race it. It makes me. I'm probably going to just start when I'm sitting around having nothing to do. I'm probably going to just go in and practice, just driving it myself, because it looks fun. It looks really fun. It does.
This road course is an absolute blast. I mean, you're getting the lefts, the rights, the uphills, the downhills. You're jumping over the curbing, but you still have points in this racetrack, Tommy. You're well over 160, so you're still getting that sensation of speed. It's an absolute blast.
Yeah, and like I said, back then I was running a Thrustmaster 248 the last time I ran the Watkins Glen race, and now I'm on a Moza R9 with the track racer set up, all 9. So now
you're bougie.
I'm
over here on my Logitech and office chair.
Oh, you just made so now when you beat me, you can just say that too. Like, hey, just keep poking the bear.
I didn't mean it like that, Tommy. But now that you gave me the ammo,
controller whooping you.
But now you gave me the ammo, so expect it to come out of the gun. That's for sure. Well, again, I want to just give a shout out to everyone who's tuning in live here tonight for the All-American Cup Series from Watkins Glen on YouTube, on Twitch. Much love. If you guys could find us on Facebook at CSR Broadcasting, we're trying to get that page up and going. So as well, if you wanted to watch your favorite drivers on there rather than YouTube, we got to get a couple more followers there because I had just set up that page. So we will be able to simultaneously get you guys caught up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. Likewise, find Highline Racing Network. You see it right there, front and center of your screen. Find them on YouTube, TikTok, and you're on Facebook as well. Are you on Instagram just yet, Tommy?
I am on Instagram. I'm old. I'm a Facebook kind of guy, but brought Highline in late to the Facebook game. I think we're sitting at 48 followers. We really want to get that up. But at the end of the day, we're having fun either way,
Absolutely. And here, if you guys, we see you over there. I can, whether you believe it or not, sometimes YouTube lets me see. I can see who's watching right now and how many. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could do me a favor, if you could just thumbs up the stream, thumbs up the video when you're watching it at a later time. Hit the subscribe. It doesn't cost a dime to do that. It just helps more people find content just like this. It helps them find our channel. It helps them find Highline Racing Network. It helps them find the All-American Cup Series that they are on Discord. They are on Facebook as well. If you enjoy these Gen 4 cars, you want to join a league. The season is about halfway, but if you want to get your feet wet and maybe set yourself up for success for their next season, check them out as well. Well, Tommy, you got anything more before we shut her down for the night?
Yeah, I would say the one more thing. I would say, hey, if what I'm going to do, and it's what I do with the Highline Network, is I'm going to take this broadcast and share the broadcast of CSR right to the Highline Facebook page for all the guys that are still listening, what have you, that's seen the stuff that we produced with the fans and the crew chiefs before the race started there. If you guys liked it, comment when I put the video up here in a little while. Comment on it and let us know if the AI crew chiefs and fans, etc. If it's not your thing, let us know. We certainly don't want to do stuff that guys don't like, and if you guys like it, by all means, we'll keep it coming, and we'll bring even more.
There is some great stuff we run. We broadcast now every Tuesday, every Thursday. We try to get in on Friday, Saturdays when we can as well. Highline Racing Network on YouTube as well. Check it out. They will be doing their own broadcast. Tommy will be running the show. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to be his sidekick in that one. Not that he's my sidekick here. He's my equal. I tell him that all the time. He doesn't believe it. It's just because I talk too much that that you hear me more. But, yeah, if you guys watch the Highline stuff, you'll see things from our other series that we cover, whether that's the All-American Cup Series, MOTD, the S&M Series, or some of the up-and-coming things that we have, some other series. You will find some of your favorite drivers from all the series on there, their crew chiefs, their fans. You'll see my AI-generated face off of one of my pictures on there. We will be live for sure on Tuesday with the MOTD series. You're not going to want to miss that pre-race show. We have some fun and hilarious things based off of last week's race lined up for that one, as well as we will be back here Thursday night for the All-American Cup Series when they head back on the racetrack. They will be at Dover next weekend. Another one of my favorite tracks. It's only about an hour south of me here in PA. Like I said, I'm out in, if you guys know Chester County, Pennsylvania. I am right in Chester County, right in the heart, smack dab in the middle. So I'm only about an hour from Dover. I go there every single year. That's another underrated racetrack, Tommy. as far as the racing there. The next gen kind of killed it a little bit, in my opinion, but they're heading there for the All-Star race next year. I'm definitely going to be there for that one, Tommy. So a lot of good things up and coming. We will catch you guys next week for the All-American Cup Series here at Watkins Glen International Speedway here this evening. Well, Mark Whitley put on a showing here, winning from the pole. Dayton Taylor, a strong car here all evening long. Unfortunately, comes home P2. Lilith Peters, P3. We had a chat with all of them. It was great to hear from them. Like I said, same thing for the MOTD series. Next week, you're not going to want to miss the pre-race. We will go through this one. We will save the replay. We will go through. We'll get you guys all caught up on the things that we may have missed. I hate when we miss things. It's road courses. SDK is for a European company that is really based on road course racing there, Tommy. The notifications kind of missed quite a bit here tonight. So, again, we will get the Highline Racing Network. We'll try to get some of the funnies. We're hearing frustrations I see over there in chat. Some things that might want to be reviewed by the admin team. So, we will get you caught up on that on the All-American Cup Series pre-race next Thursday as they head to Dover. I just want to give a special shout-out once again to everyone that makes CSR Broadcasting possible, as well with the partnership with Tommy Rogers and Highline Racing Network, Blind Squirrel Media, my boys at Dark Horse Racing, and Trevor and Nick, Juan, Careful, and company, all of the AWR cars, guys at Kyle Cameron. We miss you guys. Angie, we miss you in the chat as well. Zach Cato, Wilson, Jerry Fassett at Blind Squirrel Media. Appreciate all of you guys. Love all you guys. Until next time, next Tuesday, but hopefully we'll get caught up with some S&M or some other racing here this weekend. Appreciate you guys checking out the CSR broadcast channel.